Hi everyone, how are you doing? And good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to everyone here, viewers from all over the world. Thank you so much for being with us all the time, and it's great to see you here again in the Saturday live show with Saikat, where we talk about energy. Before we begin, I want to set a little context for everyone watching because when we talk about mitigation, we are essentially talking about energy. Globally, around 80% of the anthropogenic greenhouse gases are emission from the energy production and uses from electricity generations to transport, heating, cooling, cooking, etc. etc. This means that most every path or to achieve climate targets, whether it's limiting 1.5 degrees, reaching net zero, or meeting national climate communities, depends directly on how we transform our energy systems. Here, we sometimes really feel it's important that every energy mitigation, not only just about large scale renewable projects or national policies. The reality is that millions of people still live without reliable energies and access. Nearly 2.3 billion people worldwide still rely on traditional cooking. Cooking fuels are like which impacts health, environment, emissions, and the same time. This is why locally we need on ground initiatives and matters so much that people generally comes together and find a solution together for the community, and they engage together to find some kind of benefits and also to minimize the cost with getting some kind of grants and mentorship programs, several other opportunities as well. But here we are here to talk about mitigation as well. And now, because while global negotiations defined ambition, it is community level implementation that actually drives emission reductions, that delivers developments at the same time. In fact, studies have shown that decentralizations and decentralized energy solutions, clean cooking programs, and community led programs often produce faster solutions and climate benefits per dollar investments compared to large centralized systems, especially in developing nations. Right? So, yet, ironically, local initiatives receives only a small fraction of global climate finance. And that is the reason this kind of conversation we want to explore more how mitigation moves beyond negotiations and just not the negotiations but the room inside the negotiations, the core processes, the places which are closed, right, to many, how it becomes reality and the real changes becomes when those kind of people can be inside those rooms, right, in the daily life. So I would welcome my guest for this session, and we open the dialing link, which you can get in in the link that has been shared in many social medias as well. We are looking ahead a special guest as well. Um, his name is Malan, and he's been a great negotiator, and plus a person who always work on the ground with the community, right? So we will be joined by him, and then we will be joined by another person who is also my one of my friend, and she would be providing us a lot of stories, a lot of situations where energy also comes across community, but also how they are thriving those communities together, right? So, further ado, I'll definitely give you a hint, like who will be our next the guest. The guest would be who is joining us. But before that, I gave you a lot of hints of mitigations, right? How mitigation moves beyond negotiations, from how the challenge comes beyond those rooms, how we bring up the communities together, right? So those are the key points that we will speak together in this session. We will try to peel that onions layer one by one to get exactly what is the crux behind it. Is it the finances? Is it the technology, or is it the policies, or is it actually bringing all up together, right? Bringing all the community together, people together. There's a triangle. It's called decision triangle, where in all the corners of the triangle there are one side is the community, one side is individual, and one side is the government. Or maybe you can replace the individual by community by organization or institute as well, or maybe private sector. One upon another always blames each other, right? So why something is not going on, the government will say it. Why the government will say, okay, the community or the organizations or the people who wants it, they never told us about it. So it's always the decision triangle who falls the decision on each other, right? They always blame each other. We have to break this triangle. We have to break the loop, correct? And this is how we have to bring together all the communities and all the people so that we can get some kind of solution, right? Rather than just speaking. So right now, we'll also wait for my guest here. Other than that, if anyone wants to share anything or have to say any special recommendation, questions, please use the chat, or maybe like you can also like join the room with me. The link is which has been shared already on my website and also Yongo's website, Yongo Energy was working group's website, LinkedIn, Instagram, everywhere. So I'll let my guest also know that we have started, and maybe whoever wants to join, we can join. The dialing links are on. And in the time, what is going on with the global policies, global energy policies? We will definitely talk about. But I can see one of my guests is trying to log in. Might be there's a situation with the camera, or hi Pooja, can you hear me?
Yes, I could. You're audible.
Perfect, perfect. Because I couldn't see you, so that's why I was wondering whether, um, you know, whether there's a situation in terms of technicalities or no. So, did you open your camera or what? Because I can just see like it's rolling. Perfect. Yes. Amazing. Amazing. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Pooja. How are you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Great timing, great day, and great show. Thanks to be here. Thanks for being here as well. We will be also joined by another person who is the Gambian negotiator. But I think he's trying to join, but there's some kind of technical issues or whatsoever. But still, if like until unless he joins, let's start with you. Let's keep the ball rolling. And thank you so much for being in the show. Thank you so much for um, being with us here in the show. Sorry, I was looking into my screen, so my screen is below my camera. So sometimes when I look to the screen, it seems like that I'm talking to the ground, but I'm not. I'm looking to you in both of the ways. So yes, in a way, how you feeling, and can you introduce yourself to our viewers, please?
Hi, my name is Pooja Godfrey, and I'm glad that I got the opportunity to be here today. I am not an expert as much as you are, Saikat, in this field, but what I majorly specialize in, I'm a climate educator. I'm the program director for Climate Academy India. So, what we do is we mobilize students and help schools in capacity building for students as well as teachers. And through that, different aspects of climate, breaking it down in a way that can be understood by the student community, since they are the future of our country, our nation, and worldwide. And even as we were attending COP, we could see so powerfully, even you yourself being a youth and driving so many initiatives and negotiations and working with children and youth community. It's incredible to see how empowering the youth across the world is and how much their voice matters. So I'm glad to hop on this evening and have a candid conversation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Of course, as you said, like I'm not an expert like you. Literally, I'm not. I'm just a practitioner, and I know how expert you are because, of course, education is the most important thing that we need in our day-to-day life. And when we are talking about education, we need people like you on the ground. as well, we have another guest, as I told you about, Malang. He's also trying to get in, but I don't know why he's not. I think I'll try to also get him a ring or something. Uh, but still, um, Pooja, as you said about education, as you said about like your initiatives, what is the best thing about your initiatives that connects with education, but also connects with the initiatives? No, I'm not talking about specially energy, but at least energy specific, maybe like uh, overarching energy specific situations that you have came through. Then only I can like get a proper background of questioning, and not like it's a discussion round. So we'll have some discussion around like how to bring those initiatives online.
Right. Like I mentioned, I help the students gain understanding through Climate Academy. How this program is different from the other green clubs that is run across school is that our primary focus is on systems education, where we are enlightening the students that only individual level action is not going to help. There is a need for change in
Yes.
policies. There is a requirement for climate litigation to be in place,
True.
laws to be in place. So that is where the shift in the thinking is what we are trying to introduce in school. So what are the factors that will be required for it? How does the
Hmm.
psychology of climate change work? Why is it that while all of us, each one of us, are screaming our lungs out and telling the world that, there is a requirement and we need to do something about it, but why is everybody so numb despite having the facts and figures and graphs, everything glaring right in front of us? So this is what we're trying to break down. And where energy transition comes into the picture is, when every country, as per their whims and fancies, without having proper metrics of climate change in place, they are going on making their targets. We will reach net zero by 2070, 2045. I mean, hello, right here, right now, we are facing the impact of climate change, and then we are making goals about 45 and 70. It's vague. Human brain is not designed to understand, like at least the lay people, they're not designed to understand the gravity of or the urgency of actions required
That's
to
true.
be taken today. Because 10 years ago in Paris Agreement, we made big promises to curb and keep the temperatures to 1.5 degree. We've already crossed that. Still, the mainstream media is not talking about it.
Hmm.
And while we talk about transitioning, transitioning is great
Hmm.
worldwide. We are talking about it, we are taking initiatives. However,
Hmm.
while the fossil fuel consumption is getting accelerated, and this transition does not really, you know, add up to the goal we are trying to achieve. So that is what we try to teach through our academy to the students, that yes, it feels great in the media when our countries are talking about green transition, energy transition, all the
Hmm.
big goals.
Hmm.
It looks fancy, looks swanky, it's, gives all the brownie points. However, in the background, there's something else also happening and we need to talk about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely. I think our guest is having some kind of issue with the technology, just because sometimes the link asks for some space, and sometimes the link also asks for, in many countries, most of the countries, they ask to just download the APK files and stuff. So they're trying to figure it out until unless we have the time to just speak around. As you said, four of us. How many like people do you have, and who are they? Because we also want to know the really defining work that you all guys are doing, and they should get a shout out as well.
I don't think I mentioned the numbers. But it is Mr. Matthew Pai from
Hmm.
Belgium. He is the founder of the Climate Academy.
Hmm.
So he set this up 12 years ago after he had an awakening being a teacher himself, that high school students are graduating out of schools and colleges,
Hmm.
and they're absolutely unaware about climate change. I mean, this is something so real affecting each one of us. And it was sorry to know that schools are not educating the young people enough. So with that thought is when Climate Academy took birth. Post that in seven other countries, in Sweden,
Mhm,
in US, Latvia,
mhm,
many other countries.
mhm,
That we started with the Climate Academy in Italy. And 3 years ago, I had the privilege of meeting Mr. Matthew Pai in Nobel Prize Teacher Summit in Stockholm. That is when we decided to bring it also down to India.
mhm,
And I was a teacher back then, and I was working with a group of schools in India.
mhm,
And my boss, Mr. Shiv Matthew, who is the director of the schools, he said, we need to be doing something about it.
mhm,
We need to take action in our schools. So in Asia, we were the first ones to launch through Vibgyor Group of Schools, the Climate Academy. We started with 7 schools in Mumbai. Then it spread out to 36 schools. So now we also have the work going on in a couple of other schools, in Adani International School in Ahmedabad, and many others joining on board. So, yeah, so what is happening is we could see through the academy a shift in the thinking pattern of the students, where the high that they used to get from just collecting plastics and just having the green drive. Now there is a shift in the way they think. So we also have an association with a French news
mhm,
agency called as News Decoder. So students are able to understand the global impact of climate change, and then they come with a much more closer lens and zoom it down to their own local problems and write articles which get published on an international platform. So yeah, that, that's how we are engaged in. And in India, I also have another partner. Sure we met previously, Mr. Manjunath Prabhu. He's
mhm.
also helping in advancing the Climate Academy. And I think we can call ourselves climate evangelists because we do it with a lot of conviction. And we are so happy to see so many people join forces because innately, inevitably, we all know there is a problem that needs to be addressed. And a lot of schools are now taking initiatives, which is a good thing to see. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. I think yeah, about the numbers, I guess I heard it, but if not, then I have to stop reading too much of number researches now. So yeah, but thanks a lot for providing the inputs. Thanks a lot for providing exactly how it went from a small initiative to a bigger initiative. It's really nice to see how people are thinking about their communities, but also bringing those lesson learned into a more global perspective, like you, right? You brought it into India, and of course, India really need this kind of initiatives. As we both worked in India, I worked in past many years. You are still working in that area. We need people. We need initiatives which are further more down the line, connecting with the stakeholders directly, and also connecting with the mm, with the on ground communities. They actually have a lot of knowledge, but the thing is, they don't have the streamlined knowledge how to implement those, right? And right where we can step in and we can learn from them and they can learn from us as well, where it is a collective goal, right? So as we say that this is not a place for negotiations, this is not a place for megawatts or cop discussion. This is a place where real life stories can be heard. Do you have any real life story that you can share with us, from where we can get some kind of motivation as well, and how we can help each other in the future, so that we can provide you a platform where you can showcase your initiatives as well.
Um, Real life example to give you specifically about energy. I'm not sure
Anything,
if I
anything.
have.
It's not specific. Is we came here to learn, so it's just a discussion, right? So not specific to energy. Any of your real life, uh, encounters where you saw that these are the impacts, these are the activities that you did, and how it can be changed, and how you think that your implementation brought a lot of changes in the community as well, so that we can all learn from it. And it's a really great stories to be shared.
I think I can give you three little examples quickly.
Amazing. I know you have a
When
lot.
thank you so much. One is where I came across a student in Gujarat
Mm-hmm.
who came up with a project where the potential energy, when people stamp on a surface by the walking step, the potential energy gets converted into electrical energy.
Oh.
This kid, this kid presented this project in one of the exhibition, and now he's getting funded for the Commonwealth game that's coming up,
Mm-hmm.
and where the stadium where the Commonwealth game is coming up. So they're going to instill these devices where people, when they stand and they walk, energy will be generated to light up this whole stadium. So that is one project which tells us that there is so much of talent and imagination going on in schools.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a high school kid or a college kid. This is in the heart of education in school. So that's exciting to see how young people can think. Then year on year, we have this event with the European Parliament
Mm-hmm.
during Earth Overshoot Day in Europe every April, where students get to interact with the MEP members of the European Parliament. Last year, I remember one such student participated representing Climate Academy India. And while she did that, one of her question was so powerful and moving that the politician who was, giving the interview did mention that they will ensure that they are having a discussion about this critical issue
Mm-hmm.
during their meeting, which means we are able to, through the academy, take the local voices, not a global platform as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's quite exciting, you know.
It is.
Also, when we launch this academy in schools, we have maybe, when we begin with a cohort of 25 in each school, as they engage in activities, we see people who are not even inclined towards science or climate change suddenly joining forces, and they
Mm-hmm.
come up with such beautiful civic engagement events, because that's the second pillar of the climate academy, civic engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And through street plays, through various medium like art exhibitions. We have one of the Asia's largest art exhibition where students, schools come together. They participate from the Climate Academy and put up an art installation. So through the medium of art, we are trying to tell a story. So yeah, this is the different ways in which we try to engage. Then, like I mentioned about the news decoder, we have students who have written such incredible articles which has gone ahead and got published on news decoder website, where we have global audiences, where we have more than 20 schools across, I mean, schools from across 20 different countries participating, and we have readers from so many countries. So that's the kind of impact we are able to make through the Climate Academy. And yeah, it's an exciting journey as an educator. That's like life coming to full circle through our work.
Amazing. So, as you said, you don't have example for energy, but it was an example of energy, like how potential energy can be converted into
Right.
kinetic energy, right? And if you think you were in COP last year, I saw you in COP, and how many footfalls are there in the same space? If we can
Right.
convert the same thing, right? If you were going to convert the same situation into those areas where it's not just about footfall, but it's about the the volume of people over there in the same space, charging the batteries and running the area. Exactly, COP is for climate, and we have to find the solution like this. And when we are talking about solution, I'm really pleased to have Malang here. He joined. Hi, Malang.
Hello, how are you doing?
Not bad, Malang. Not bad. Thank you so much for joining the show. Right now, we have, I think, in LinkedIn and YouTube and Instagram, everywhere we are live, and we have more than 1,000 viewers as well. We were waiting for you, and also we have Pooja here. She's a really good friend of mine as well. We met last COP. She's also like doing a lot of work on the ground in education perspective in climate education. um,
Mm-hmm.
and as the same thing you joined, and we told before as well that okay, this session, this show today, the episode, we're going to be more into non-negotiation rooms, out of the rooms, on the real world, the real solution on ground. And you have been working in many projects, Malang,
Yes.
literally like
Yes.
thriving the community, thriving women lead initiatives. um, so can you give a small introduction of yours, and then of course we will go through as some of the discussion points. Pooja also have some kind of points, me also have some kind of points, and we can come up with some kind of, a really good discussions on how energy, or maybe cross sectional thematic areas as well in climate, can be brought into the communities, and how we can help each other.
That's right. First of all, I will say thank you for having me. And then my name is Malan Sambu from the Gambia. This is the smallest country in West Africa. And then I am the founder of Mbolo Association, which is a locally led entity. And currently, we have the status of international NGO. Then Mbolo is an entity that is uplifting and upgrading the life standard of the women through its Fandema Women Development Skill Training Center. This is a center where we are welcoming young ladies who haven't got to school, or they have been to school but they cannot complete. And this is why we're giving them a safe space for them to venture into renewable energy technology and climate action. So basically, what Fandema is doing, the local grassroots initiatives that we are doing is we're trying to mechanize the household workload of the woman. Because we all know here in Africa, the global south, when you come to cooking, is done by ladies, and then all this thing is heavy fuel that is being burden on the forestry, and then from there you have the health part, because they use charcoal and then firewood. So in this case we have a lot of smokes. So basically we introduce some clean cooking mechanisms, the technologies that are available. How do we power them through the renewable energy? So we are developing energy providing solutions using solar, and this is how it is linked to well-being. So that is one part, and then the other part is the amount of donkey hours that the women put in terms of storage, gardening, and then working in during the raining season. So when they harvest, we have a lot of losses. So we are trying to bring what we call PCM, that is phase change material in terms of cold storage, by using solar power, and these are all installed by ladies. And in fact, joining the global Gambia, you know, just to make sure that the energy mixed, they are adding a lot of renewable in it. So the biggest power plant in the country, 23 megawatts with a 8.3 megawatts on the battery solution.
Hmm.
30% of the workforce have been our ladies that we train in our institution. So they have really participated from this beginning up to the ending of that. So these are initiatives that are really going on in the country. And then right now, as I'm talking to you, we have three agrovoltaic projects. These are using the setting factor of the solar, and you can do agriculture under it. So they are also having drying mechanisms, and then storage mechanisms, and irrigation mechanisms, where you can also harvest rainwater. So all these are initiatives that are linked to livelihoods, and then also well-being. So basically, these are the small tips that Mbolo is doing, and that's why I am recognized as the lead negotiator for Gambia on mitigation and just transition. So we are bringing the local voice into the negotiation rooms. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, Madan. Right before you joined, Pooja was sharing about her experience, how those communities, like changing the lives of the communities, bringing up the projects. Like education is so important in this entire social scale, that without education we cannot step up. But also there is a lot of community who cannot get those privilege, but bringing those initiatives to them is farther more better than bringing those people to the initiative, right? So this is what you are doing as well. Globally, around 675 million people right now still without electricity, and nearly 2.3 billion people, as you said, rely on traditional cooking fuels, which is like, I think, nearly a 4 million premature death happens every year due to indoor pollution. Everything connects with, if whether you are an expert in energy, whether you are working in energy or you are not, every stories connects together into livelihood and bringing the health of those people together. So these numbers are huge, right? So I have same question but in two different tangent for both of you. Not a question, just I want to understand, or viewers to understand. For Malang, when you go into communities, what does energy poverty actually look like, right? Because many people are sitting everywhere in the corner of the world, developed countries, developing countries, the situation are not same as it is. But you have seen the energy poverty closely from the ground, what exactly it looks like and what exactly we should understand they need to be done, right? And the same question, if we refrain it for Puja, what is exactly education poverty look like? And do you think that both of the aspect of having an education without access to energy can also um, you know have a barrier in terms of growth to those communities? But I'll go first to Malang, and then of course we will compare the answer with you, and then we will find, okay, this is the common problem that the community is having.
All right, thank you. I think this is a very interesting question that many people should understand when we talk about energy. It's not about bringing the cable to the house or bringing only light, the bulb of light. But the idea is how energy can reflect into well being, how the simple local woman, our
Mhm.
sisters and our mothers, can get access to clean drinking water without suffering lots of kilometers to go for it. So if energy can just work on that by pressing a single button, you will be able to liberate those amount of kilos that you are moving and then pulling also under the ground to be to be in a cup for you to drink. So this is how simple you can realize that energy poverty starts here. And the other thing is the art of how many donkey hours that the women put for cleaning their clothes, especially when you say 5 kilos. If you get access to energy, that's a matter of 30 minutes. But if you don't get access to energy, the woman will be there 2 3 hours on that. At the same time, the kid is there crying, and she is also going to cook. So clean cooking, that's another part. Although it's a little bit luxury, but if you get access to energy, we will save a lot of health issues that our government have a lot of burden because they are spending huge amount of money in saving or paying for solutions that they can be preventive. So that's a part of energy poverty because if the sun is available, any part of the world, only a meter square, we can
Mhm.
generate up to 1,000 kilowatt. This is a lot of energy that is untapped. That is not. I think it's not really so fair to see that they are calling for energy poverty, whilst the energy is there. It's just lack of technology to transform and capture that energy and put it into well-being and livelihood. Basically, for me, energy poverty is access to clean cooking, water pumping system, irrigation, and then for cold storage, and the same time for washing, and then all kind of things that just to mechanize the woman household workload. That's it, and also then it's linked to the education part. Thank you.
Thank you, Malang, because it's quite fascinating that when we say about energy all the time, people always look into energy infrastructure. But sometimes people always have to think it's not about infrastructure. It's about how you describe the energy as a freedom. Freedom to do work, freedom to your health, freedom to
Psych, Saikat, you are echoing. I don't know whether you have two mics coupling.
right now as well.
Yeah.
Just a second. Let me see if
uh, I don't know whether it's only me, but Push, are you hearing the same from him? Hello?
is it okay now, or do I have to do something?
The same. It's echoing. But anyway, go ahead. Don't worry. But it's echoing.
Yeah, sometimes the technology is not in our favor, right? If we get the access to electricity as well. But yes, if I'm audible enough, Yes, Pooja. What's your thinking about energy also, but how education affects with the access to energy?
Yeah, talking about how energy poor, sorry, education poor we are in terms of energy. Every time we talk about transition, yes, we are talking about uh, the windmills to help us with the wind energy. We're talking about the solar panels to give us the solar energy. Great ideas, but also we talk about the lithium batteries for our cars and buses to run. But are we really educating people enough about the impacts? Every windmill comes with an expiry date. What happens to them after they've been used? Right now, in bulk, we are installing it across the world in different places. But what are we going to do once they are in excess, once they're expired? Do we have a plan yet? No, we're not talking about it. Recent studies, recent pilot project has been run in Poland where they're just painting one blade of the windmill black so that birds can spot that, because so much of biodiversity loss is happening because of these windmills, because birds are losing their lives. Nobody's
Hmm.
talking about it. Okay, we're talking about energy transition and giving these solutions, but nobody's talking about the biodiversity loss it's causing. Second, when we talk about the solar panels, people are mindlessly, I feel, putting it across any flat surface that they find. But have we really studied, have we educated ourselves enough to understand what is the impact, climatic impact it could have to the flow of El Nino, and the cloud patterns, the rainfall patterns could be massively disrupted if we go about installing solar panels all across deserts and places. Like I was seeing the videos from China where they have such huge solar installations across, but have we studied the weather patterns yet? What impact could it bring? And when we talk about the batteries, mining happens, there is migration happens because of so much of resources that is being extracted. We are causing biodiversity loss, in and even people are getting displaced. Who is really talking about it? Isn't deforestation taking place there as well? So these are the conversations we need to have. Yes, we are giving solutions, but is it a 360-degree solution that we're giving for a future generation? I think we still need to bring about this communication mainstream and talk about what happens after. Is our solution foolproof?
That's a nice way to seeing the other side of the coin, definitely. But also, there's a question that if we don't do the development, there will be a lot of communities which are right now having the energy poverty as well. But the main aspect is not how we bring it. The main aspect is which technology do we have right now as a part of the solution, and is there enough helps or supports from other countries or other communities or any other, like from the government as well, of having solution which would be long run. And no, of course, definitely deforestation is very bad in terms of every aspect, but in terms of like batteries storage, in terms of solars, we have to get things done in a proper ethical manner, definitely, for sure, because we cannot go just rogue into onto the nature. We need a solution for which is called the circular economy, right? The waste management, definitely, but also like we have to give a chance to the community to thrive. But your question, your points was really on the top. What do you think, Malang, that is it a way that we are um, going to in a position for a short term success, and after that, of course, we will be facing some kind of difficulties in terms of supply chain management, in terms of like the weathers and all, if we are moving like this to all the communities, or this is the solution that we have right now and we need further more technologies as well.
Saikat, try to make your phone. It's really echoing too much. I don't know when
Oh.
you leave the recording, it's not going to
Mhm.
work. But anyway, so what Pooja said about waste management is very, very important. That's a key point in technology, in social development. Yes, you are bringing solutions, at the same time, you are destroying. This is the human race. Always, this is how we are. It's just a matter of far ways, you know. People just think of themselves. The ego and the greed is too much in the world. So where I think people are forgetting to help each other. I can tell you what happened is that life goes along fixing one thing and destroying the other thing. So I think basically when we walk in a space where the knowledge is able to bring solutions, we are to celebrate small steps because in humanity, how do we generate energy? They have been generating it through fossil fuel for all these decades up to right now, and then with nuclear too. All these things are natural materials, okay? But at the end of the day, they're doing more harm than good. So when we are able to discover new avenues and new technologies, we need to explore and make life better. So for people in the world to make sure that the education have improved life. So the social development is so important. So it's not only climate change, which is one part of social development, you know. So for me, the part of waste management is so important because here in the Gambia already we have initiatives based on that. We are doing what we call organic waste. So every household is eating a lot of vegetables and we are farming. But this organic waste that we are generating, if we don't take care of it, it is bringing a lot of methane. So obviously, we are segregating at source, at markets, which is very big generators, and we collect them. We use electrical tricycle to transport them to garden, and now we are bringing the first organic compost machine in the country, and it's going to be powered by solar energy. Yes, of course, solar can be destructive in one form, but it's much more better than the other source of energies that we are providing. Because yes, we have the abundance of soil here in the Gambia, in this country, in where we are. So if you generate energy from it, of course, you avoid all those machines moving. So basically, yes, the use of after their life cycle, but this is we are talking about 50 years of a solar panel. A battery can go up to 15 to 20 years before it will reach to that moment. So I think there are a lot of technologies advancing much more than people. So we will be getting that solution of recycling. I know here in the Gambia we don't, but in developed world, they have already got those solutions. So that's why we have to learn best practices. Okay, this global south should learn the best practices, not the destructive one. So I think technology transfer is more necessary than ever now, and then knowledge transfer. So these two things could move together in order for the global south to do exactly the best part of what technology can give us. So basically, I think the part of recycling is really fundamental for it to go along with the technology to make sure that we have small little steps and small little solutions in order to avoid the destruction of our biodiversity. Okay,
Mhm.
in one form or the other. Thank you.
Amazing. I hope my sound is right now not echoing. If everything is right, perfect. Yes.
It's
Um,
great. Yeah.
that's really crucial that you said. As the developed countries who are like right now developed in a way was not good enough just because we are facing this situation. And right now, the global south has the chance to learn from the mistake, and we don't have to repeat the same mistake that has been done by the global north. Because of course, if we are doing the same thing and we are trying to minimize what has been done, what is the point? We're going in the same direction, what we don't want. But I think the show is turning over to a really serious discussion, which I don't want. So let's make it more fun. uh, every show of mine have a rapid fire round, right? And I always keep my cue cards right ready for you. So for both of you, I'll have one word, but also it's a request, and no cheating, please. Always the first thought that come to your mind, share with us, right? So the first thought. So I'll start this with Malang, right? One word, within 1 second, any answer which comes to your mind, right? Mitigation or adaptation?
Mitigation,
Clean cooking or large scale renewables?
clean cooking,
Community projects or global policies?
community projects,
Negotiator head or just negotiator as a crew member?
negotiator as a crew member,
One word describing Africa's energy future.
progressing.
The developing countries.
What?
The developing countries.
Solidarity,
And the last but not the least, clean energy or renewable energy.
renewable energy.
Amazing. Thanks a lot. For one question, for one answer that you gave me about clean cooking or large scale renewables, and you said clean cooking. What was the reason behind it?
Because it is linked to health and well-being.
Just
You
like for
understand? For
example.
clean cooking, it is really linked to health. There are so many trouble here.
Mhm,
Unceremonious smokers,
mhm,
and then lots of, we are realizing in our part in global south,
mhm,
lots of disease and then, medical serious illness
mhm.
from cooking. And it's costing a lot of money for our
Mhm.
governments at the same
Yes,
time lives. So for
yes,
that being the case, I think 900 million people to clean. So this is a very big word. Yeah.
amazing. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate that. Very impressive. Very impressive. Now it's the time for you, Pooja. Right? No
Yeah,
cheating again. One word whatsoever. We will just ask one of your answers why it was like this. So
sure.
right? Okay. Education or training,
Education,
institution or universities,
institution,
knowledge or information.
information,
Okay. Energy or renewable energy,
renewable energy,
developing nation or low developing nations,
developing nation,
students or trainees,
students,
projects or initiatives.
projects,
Okay. Finance or funding.
finance.
Okay, perfect. Now we got a lot of your thoughts. Now I will ask some question for from your thoughts, right? Um, why you think developing nation is should be thrived rather than the low developing nations?
That's where the money comes from.
Okay. Yeah, I understand when you say like finance rather than the funding, but yes.
Yeah, that's what happened, right? Last
Mhm,
year, I mean, last in COP29, they failed to meet up with the finance requirement that had to be generated during COP. And we failed in mobilizing the trillions. Instead, the global south had to settle in billions. That's
mhm,
not done. When they have been the major contributors, I think it's they who need to focus on
mhm. No,
financing the global south.
definitely. Definitely. Financing is the most crucial part. But also, when we talk about financing, and we are in a show where it's co led, co organized by Yongo Energy Working Group as a youth. Malang, what do you think? How can young people move from activism? Because most of the people are activism. They just they want to implement their ideas. They want to be in the forefront. But just because of low income in this, yes, low income, I can say less funding, no finances rolling, they cannot implement their ideas. But also, like you are in from a place where poverty is really a issue, right? And on those areas as well, you're thriving changes, right? Might be a change where you're getting fund, might be you don't have fund, but you always have the vision. So this question is for you: how can we learn from those initiatives that, okay, if we don't have funding as well, but we want to start, like start is the main aspect.
Yeah, it's important that people get access to information, rightly what Pooja have said. So if you lack information, then you are really in the dark side of the history of the globe. So basically, small people doing small things at different places can change the world. So this is so important that um, we have to really do activism up to a limit. But this is not the whole that can move, because you can be shouting and then always not seeing yourself in the problem, but always throwing the problem outside. You are not the cause of it. So I think we need to be solution makers and solution givers, and less ego, less corruption, and make sure that transparency and accountability is being fostered and is cross-cutting all around. Monitoring and evaluation at all time when there are projects that they are linked to well-being and livelihood.
True.
Although we always demand finance, and we are now trying to make climate change as if it is only Article 9.1, which is a
True.
big mistake. I think globally we are not talking about life. We are not humanizing things. So for me, it's much more important for celebrating small steps through solutions,
Mm-hmm.
actionable solutions. And this is how, when we get the knowledge, we are
Mm-hmm.
able to execute. And young people like you who have been to the top, the hierarchy of education, university, engineering, they need to focus on invention, to invent how machineries can be, how to call it, linked to livelihood, and it will be, bring down to local solutions. For instance, improve cook stoves. They are everywhere, but then we still have smokes. But if we develop technologies that can really bring, clean cooking solutions without smoke, I think every livelihood in the rural Gambia will be able to cook with those ones. So that's something that I think we should think of in the terms of, activism, not only talking and talking and then blaming and then, insulting. So that have really made young people not to become politicians.
Mm-hmm.
So the decisions are taken by politicians. Technicians, we bring our suggestions on the table, but so unfortunate that, decisions are taken by politicians. So that's why I think we have to really get young people in the forefront of politics, and then to be able to become good negotiators, and then, at the end of the day, we will have solutions that can really answer, and then, tackle those health issues. Thank you.
Definitely. It was so amazing answer that you gave. That okay, the technician, the people who actually invent, they know what the things, how the things are running. They should be on the table as well, not the politicians. And most of the young people have a really good vision how to implement those uh, like solution, right? And we don't find a proper channel to implement our energy into those like those areas. And I guess you said a really nice example that many people like us, many people who have been studying into a good universities in a privileged manner, we should always give the information, we should always give the knowledge further down the line where people really wants the knowledge and they know the value of that particular knowledge. And we always thrive that okay, I have the knowledge, I'll just try to change the world. No, it's a collective goal always. Always try to find a team, always try to work with the team. So it's a collective goal, and we should always have a have a path to share this knowledge down the line. Thanks a lot, Malan. And also, like with your answer, Malan, Pooja, as you've been working mostly with the communities, like all the time on the ground with the communities, what is the most urgent need that you always see? What is the common need that you always see the community should have? Education is one, of course, but also linking with the education, also linking with the problem. What is the pressing issues that you think that this particular issue has to be put down?
Talking through various school communities that we have reached out to, hundreds and hundreds of them, not just the students. It is surprising to see that it is not common knowledge that climate change is a pressing issue that global south needs to be worried about.
Mm-hmm.
It breaks my heart that we just have this random questionnaire when we go to schools and the parent community on
Mm-hmm.
ground, and to realize they don't even know there is a global discussion happening about climate. And sometimes they see my work, like my friends and family, they see, okay, I'm working in the climate space, and they ask me, okay, what's the weather forecast today? It's funny that climate change is a real threat to each and every one, especially in the global south, because we are the ones, there are families, there are livelihoods, there are years here, even in my city in Mumbai, because of environmental issues that we are dealing with, but little are we talking that climate change is a reason for this. So I think myself a climate evangelist, this is really important because our generation,
Uh, I think Pooja, we are getting some kind of interference from your network. Okay, I think yeah, there was a situation with the technology. Uh, Technology. So I think yeah, we lost Pooja right now uh, because of the connection. Might be unless she joins back, we can speak to Malang as well. Hi, Malang, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So Malang, I definitely remember that last year we had a very good discussion in COP, and you've been into many COPs. Can you share us with the viewers, especially who are there with us till now? Literally, a lot of viewers who are still there, and they're looking to us into getting some kind of information, and also some kind of like not to become too much of bored. What is your main, like, a memory from COP you want to share with us, a memory that you never forget? It shouldn't be like, maybe not from negotiations, maybe not from a specific area, but what's your memory of one of the COP or a specific moment that you all never forgets? But also, like,
Yeah.
before you answer, sorry, Pooja, we lost you for your internet. I think there was a situation with your internet connection. We'll get back to you right now after Malang shares the story about his one of the best story of COP till now.
Yeah, I think I would like to share one of the good memories with young people
Mm-hmm,
about COP for me.
mm-hmm,
Born in a very small little village here in the Gambia, as you know, is one of the smallest country in West Africa. When I was born, there's no electricity here. So obviously, with those struggles, going to school until you reach to high school, and then you were able to go to Europe, do your university, and then come back home, build a small entity until it becomes an NGO. Then the government of the Gambia, recognized and then choose me to become a negotiator in mitigation. So by the way, always seen a lot of documentaries about the world life, biodiversity by great people like Sir David Attenborough. So meeting him and then listening to him in the deliberation in the COP, I think the COP of Glasgow, that was COP 28, if I don't forget,
26.
or 26 in Glasgow. I think that is still in my head, seeing that man of 80 years with that spirit of how to transmit about climate change to us and simplified it from those words, and then listening to the prime minister of Barbados.
Mm-hmm,
These are great leaders. Seeing leaders that they are really leading in social development, they're able to transmit, making sure that people understand how climate change can have impact in people's life. Because most of the people think that, oh, it's just useless talks, it's just a talk show. But being in a climate where you have the global sitting down, discussing in certain negotiation rooms, talking about climate change, for me that's a big impact. And then being in that hall, having the diversity, from grassroots rebel, young, negotiators, people, activists, indigenous people, rich people, presidents, and everybody. Nobody knows who are you. All of us are
Mm.
the same with the same badge. I think that's the biggest impact that I can take from
Amazing.
the wall of COP. That's
What an impact.
diversity. That's not like football where people will go and yowl about and it brings nothing. But here people are talking about something related to life. Thank you. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. No, really, you touched the base, and also you connected emotionally to most of our viewers as well. That it's not just about what you are doing over there; it's about how you're making the changes over there. From where you can get inspiration from anywhere in the world, but it's up to you to decide what kind of inspiration you really need for yourself and for the world. And thanks a lot, Malang. We really need this kind of inspiration for all of us to run for entirely. Most of the people in youth, most of the youths are tokenized. Most of the youths are doing their job plus the voluntary work, making some kind of changes. And we need these examples all the time. And thanks for being that kind of leader for us, actually. Um, Pooja, sorry, we lost you in the middle. I know that technology can can make things worst or right, but yes, you are sharing something very interesting. Please carry on.
Yeah, sorry about the technical glitch, but yeah, I think I was able to communicate. What I was saying is, yeah, that's the lack of knowledge that they have in the ground level, where people are not aware. If people are not aware, they're not going to. It's not likely for them to take the right action.
Hmm.
So, to connect the bigger issue, I think the baby step of helping them understand that, there is an issue. We all need to talk about it. We all need to be on the same page. That's the challenge that we face. Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely. And was it your first cop last year, or it was like
Third cop.
third cop? So as the same question goes to Malang as well, the same question goes to you. Might not be too much of serious answer, might not be too much technical answer, might not be too much of your expertise answer, but a very lightly delightful memory from your every like three crops, maybe a specific memory that you never forgets and you want to share with us.
Yes, I totally have one of the best memories. So the first COP, the one in Dubai, COP 28, when I attended it, that was my first COP, and we had just launched the Climate Academy in Asia, first one in Asia, first one in India. I just wanted to explore what happens in COP. So I went as an educator in the UNESCO's greening education program, and then I looked around, met people. It was quite inspiring, and because I was already working in the education space, I thought our children needs to at least our students need to at least see what's happening. What is a global discussion? I myself was surprised to see software companies, different companies from different countries, people from different countries, young people from different countries coming and having a discussion and a dialogue. That made me curious. So the very next year, what we did is when COP was being organized in Azerbaijan, I just shared with my team, my boss, and I said, I think we need to take our Climate Academy students for COP. And it was a novel idea. We had logistical challenges. However, we said, let's give it a try. And I think it was a proud moment for me. From the school, we were able to get 20 delegates for the first time ever in India, I feel,
Wow.
for an event like this. So that was quite an exhilarating experience for me, taking the students for an event like that. Now, we did. The students obviously they had to go through rigorous reading material, do their research before they could go and attend and interact with people. I gave them agenda. I told them, how to go about networking with people and gaining their knowledge. They were not allowed to have any surface level talks. They need to understand what the NDCs of India was, and a global scale, all the communication that was happening. I remember enrolling them around that time for in other university, there was this climate law and governance course, certification course happening by Cambridge, where people from Harvard, UN representatives, all of them were attending. And these kids were able to come up, being in the different group and come up with their presentations. The dean of the university came running, seeking for who brought these kids
Mhm.
here. They are talking like the way the adults are, and they really appreciated and said, we really appreciate your Indian education system who's giving you the exposure at
Mhm.
this young age. And that was a very a defining moment for me. And these 20 students lot that we took, we saw a shift in their thinking, in the way they started addressing themselves as climate advocates. You can go and find them on LinkedIn. Like recently in my company ClimaLearn, I was looking for interns. I checked with an HR friend to help me get some interns, and some interns were quite good, and my
Mhm.
friend gave me. And to our surprise, these are the same students who are attending this COP with
Wow.
me. So, it had been such an incredibly impactful moment. And
Yes.
not just that, uh, there were two students who came just like they were young entrepreneurs from grade 11, by the way,
Mhm.
who were into clean cooking. And they met people, not only met a network, but also managed to get funding from two different organizations for their project.
Very nice.
So that was incredible. I said, I am not stopping at this. I need more awareness in India. I need to reach out to more schools and take more students from India, because I know, and I'm sure you will agree, our students are much more capable and intelligent. All they lack is a global platform. And as a lead educator, that is my focus area, to make these platforms available for the students in India, where they can go and engage and be the agents of
Mhm.
change.
Oh yes, definitely. Like you actually touched so many of old stories of mine as well. It's not just one story. We come across different life changing stories actually from beyond the past. I think that is the reason as well. Those things keeps us going all the time. Those are the fuel of our energy, right? That we have to do something in this space, and it's not about any recognition. It's not about
Absolutely.
any kind of like a celebrity stunt that we have to do. It's just about if we can make one life change with our initiatives, with our involvement, only one life. That what it makes the entire thing very very different from other livelihoods. So thanks a lot for bringing this information and this story, like really really great story. And as we say, mitigation, energy, adaptation, education is not just only for healthier families. It's not just only strong communities. It's not just only new economy. It's about collective goal. It's about how we can find a solution together, how we can bridge the gap between the communities that are not getting anything, but the communities also having a lot of abundance. How we can manage the gap between them, how we can provide all of them in an equity rather than just making equalism. So thank you so much for being in the show, Pooja. It was lovely having you here. Definitely, I will keep in touch with you
Likewise.
for other initiatives so that your initiative can reach through other countries as well. Malang is doing the same thing. I guess like if I will connect with you, with you to Malang, maybe they also need the same initiative in their country as well, in Gambia, and they need climate education. They need proper training to their students. So might be a case we can come to a really great outcome from this discussion. But thanks for being here. Just one word from you, how you felt here. What was your experience?
It was a very candid conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad there was so much of synergy that we could find in what we could work out in future.
Mm-hmm.
Also, keeping in mind that you work closely with young people, we would I would be more than happy to engage my young ones with yours,
Mm-hmm.
and take insights from you as well, because your guidance and your experience and expertise would definitely add value to the work that we are doing here in India. And Yeah, looking forward to the collaboration, even with Malang, as you mentioned. Thank you so much for having me in your episode today. On behalf of the Climate Academy, also, I wish you all the best for your future initiatives, all the
Mhm.
creativity that you bring in with the virtual cop. Also, it was so exciting to be a part of the virtual cop as well, and to see how you engage passionately with people, and everybody wants to be a part of it. You know that that's the thing that you have about the work that you bring in. So it's not boring. You bring life in what you do, and that's the need of the hour as well, to engage people into this which is otherwise very, too professional and too sophisticated space. Thank you so much.
No, thanks a lot for bringing those lovely words. Actually, those are our fuel as well. As I said, like our fuel is getting someone changed, but for myself, for this kind of shows, this is the fuel that I get the comments, the reviews from you guys, because you all are making a change on the ground, and you guys are really a hero according to me. I respect a lot those kind of people who are making changes on the grassroots level, connecting with the people, connecting with them, learning from them, but also listening to them. Because most of the people, mostly the politicians, mostly the policies that have been built, those are not built from bottom to top level. They always bring up into top to bottom level. They don't listen to the people there, exactly what they need. And you all guys are literally like listening to them and also bringing the change into their lives directly. So that's the hats off to you guys, really amazing. If I can give you a little bit of limelight as well from my side, it would be a really gratefulness for myself, literally. So that is the reason
That's so
whatever
sweet.
we do, it's all for you guys, all for you guys. Thanks a lot for doing and making some changes. And I will see you soon in next any other sessions. And also I'll invite you to run the show with me as a co-lead, as I already told you. So definitely I will invite you for, like, leading the show with me, one of the show where I will make sure that one of our um like the special guest is from education, and they are making the same changes where your ideas and their ideas can collab together, and we can make a vast network in terms of just not on ground initiatives, but also like initiatives in national, regional, and international level, right? So this is what we'll do definitely. But thanks a lot for coming here, and thanks to all the viewers to listening to us for more than 1 hour now. I will see you in the next session in Let's Talk Energy with Saikat. And until then, see you. Have a nice weekend. See you next week.
Bye.